Do you want to become more successful on LinkedIn? Let us do this again. I got so much excited. I was on mute. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Wandalin Tan Kalupig. I am the number one Filipina LinkedIn broadcaster and the number one most influential in 2021. Today, my energy is at its highest. It's already 9:30 p.m. in Dubai, but I'm very, very much excited today because I have the honor to interview one of the favorite person and people I look up to on LinkedIn. Her name is Ambreen Nadeem. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. She's one of the top 50 most impactful people on LinkedIn. This is episode 64 of my LinkedIn Live. Every week or at least every month, I go live on LinkedIn to do webinars, interview these amazing women, just talk about career, life, do a lot of webinars because my goal after suffering from burnout is to help others find more joy and meaning in life. And before I introduce and bring Ambreen on stage, let me just give a brief introduction about Ambreen. Ambreen Nadeem is an industrial psychologist with more than 15 years of experience in marketing, research, and she has a diverse experience in market research analysis, client relationships, project management, and leadership in top multinational companies, both on the agency and client side. She has been managing major projects for blue chip clients in Saudi Arabia. She's an advocate of mental health who is passionate about spreading the knowledge of psychology and mental health through her podcast, live shows, workshops, and blogs. And please join me in welcoming Ambreen Nadeem. Yes, Amreen. Thank you again so much. I'm really a fan of yours. So I'm so much starstruck right now.
Hello, and thank you so much for having me. I mean, I really, really was looking forward to joining you, and and you're doing an amazing work. I see your post and your podcasts are so amazing. So, thank you so much for having me here on this show and giving me the opportunity to speak. And because I feel that like your post and your content resonate quite with me, so I think we are aligned and we can speak a lot on different topics. I'm sure this is going to be fun.
I know. I was like before, I mean, backstage, right? Before we go on live, we were sharing some stories. And I was like, oh my God, there's so much things I want to learn from you. And what I love most about these interviews is I get to know the person behind the profile. And last year, I had the opportunity to interview Shero Bottom, who's one of the top, LinkedIn personalities as well. So let me start with the questions. These are the questions I gathered because I am part of a lot of women communities, specifically mothers. So I asked them, what are the questions you want to ask? And one of the things is, okay, what is your favorite part about working? I know I mean, before, right? Before I introduce you, you're doing a lot of things from blogs to workshops to market research. What keeps you going? And what's your favorite part about it?
It's a very very good question actually, because one thing that I believe that whatever we do, we should love whatever we do, because if we don't love what we do, it's easy to get burnout and it's easy to get frustrated, so and stressed out. So to me, the most important thing is that when I feel that I can use my knowledge of psychology, like for example, if I'm doing a marketing research project, so I love the analysis that how we can use consumer psychology into different strategies, right? Like if we are making a marketing campaign or an ad campaign, so how we can integrate all the consumer psychology into these strategies. So that is my favorite part when I'm doing the research work. And the other thing, like that what I'm passionate about is psychology. So what from the very beginning, I was always intrigued by the fact that how human mind work, how the human psyche is developed, and why people are different, why people behave in a way they do. So that is something that when I keep looking for some answers, and I find out that there are a lot to learn about it. And whatever the knowledge I gain, I feel that I should share with other people. So that sort of the passion to gain knowledge and to share knowledge is something that keeps me motivated, like keep on going. And believe me, and this is the only thing that is the favorite part of my work, because there are times when I have to stay up late night to complete my work, but this is the thing that I love what I do. Is the only thing that keeps me going and keeps me and take me to do something extra. So the one thing that I would say, that whatever you do, you should love it.
Mm. I like that. You know what? I love what you said. If you want to gain, and you want to share what you learn, then you will always have fun and have the motivation to do
Yeah.
it. And I think I think it resonates with your post, right? I mean, I think when you read on LinkedIn or any material that you read, you can sense the heart of the person who wrote it. And I think that's why your post is always it's always worth sharing, it's worth reading, because that is like the person that you are. You really love to share. So, and when I actually experienced burnout, I became interested in psychology. So I actually studied NLP.
Wow.
So after I completed my NLP certification, really my life changed 360 degrees, because when I understood how my mind works, I was able to become a better parent, a better person. I think better in many ways. So that's really helpful. Now let's move to the next question, because I know you're also a wife and a mother like me. And I think how the question is always, how do you manage, right, the challenges, because as a mother, as a wife, as a working mom, who has a career. And I think first I want to also make people understand that you're working in Saudi Arabia. So that itself is a testament that you're an empowered woman. So how do you manage the challenges as a wife, as a mom, and as a career woman per se?
Yeah, this is I would tell you that that it is I mean, I started my career, like, or maybe I restarted my career in Saudi Arabia after a lot of struggle. I was having a very nice established career in my home country, but when my husband moved to Saudi Arabia, I had to resign from my like very stable nice job and then move to Saudi Arabia. And when I moved there into Saudi Arabia, I found that like everything it was lost, and I was like doing a lot in my home country, and I was like from someone to no one. And then of course I have like small kids, and then I was just changing diapers and like feeding my kids, and it's itself is a joy to raise kids. But the thing is, like, when you have some urge to do more, it's easy to get depressed, because I was doing a lot more than this. So then of course there are like moving to another country, and especially sort of a conservative country, it was difficult to make ways to find
Hmm.
ways to establish a career. So initially I took a break, and which was quite depressing, and I was like I was just thinking what to do. And as I said earlier, like, if you have a passion, it gives you more energy to do something. And then, since I had the passion to work, and I had the passion to actually do something for my field of psychology, and I was passionate about writing. Even in my home country, I was writing for some like biggest newspapers and magazines. So I tried to find out here also that how I can contribute. And then I tried to find out that, okay, I may not take the full time career, because as a mother, I have to look after my kids as well. And a full time job, if I take up the full time job, my kids will be neglected. So then I took a little bit of break, and then I started freelancing. And that's how I came into entrepreneurship. And I feel that it gave me so much freedom, because while I was doing a job, I was stuck for the 9 to 5 job, and I had to do, and I had to deliver the timelines and the project according to
Hmm.
the company's requirement. But when I took up the role of entrepreneurship, then I found out that I enjoyed the freedom. Although I might have to do a lot more, but the flexibility and freedom actually was more enjoying. Like, I was enjoying that freedom and flexibility. So I could manage more. For example, if I take up like one or two projects, and then was able to manage my home and my kids and my husband and my home, everything was could be managed. So the slowly and gradually I started that. And then of course when I since I was, as I told you, that if you have a passion, you do some extra work and then you get appreciated. And then like if I took up like very small projects, and then I got really big appreciation from my clients, and they were really happy and they wanted to work with me again and again. So like it gave me also a motivation that okay, I can do more. And that's how I started in the freelance work. And then as I told you that I am so passionate about psychology, and then when I moved here, I saw a lot of women actually like me who do a lot. So I started like in Saudi Arabia also, like a small community of women. I try to empower them because it's very important to have a sense of belongingness, because like a lot of women who were like me, who were coming from the different countries, they were quite alone. And even though sometimes like even Saudi women like feel a bit more sometimes depressed because they cannot do a lot. So sort of like I started creating a platform, bringing all the women together. And then I started even providing counseling like free of cost, because this I felt that they need more support. And I started enjoying that also, because when you see the person is sort of like stuck, but if you give them a little advice, their life transforms. And it gives such a good satisfying feeling that you help someone and you see that they are flourishing in life. So that is very much satisfying and fulfilling. So I started providing like a lot of counseling. I did a lot of counseling for I'm still doing it on the voluntary basis, because by profession I'm a marketing research consultant, and that is how I gain like I do all the project, and that is my main source of income. But all these like like providing counseling, helping people, it's all voluntarily, because that is something I feel that people need a little bit of push, a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of advice to go in the right direction. And we feel that like miracles happen in different lives. I
True.
mean, I saw is like those women who are so depressed, if we just listen to them, just give them advice, a little advice, and that's how they see more opportunity, and then they go in the right path. So this is just a brief, I would say that this is the brief introduction. So,
That's really big. First, I want to honor you, and I think I want to commend you. I think, it takes, as a volunteer, I mean, I do this volunteer coaching also. I think it takes a lot of energy from you, right? When you help another person. I remember one time I did the life care coaching call, and I had to sleep for 2 hours after that because the problem was so heavy for me to carry.
exactly.
And I was
I,
knocked out
I can
after
relate.
the
Yeah.
yeah. So first, I want to honor you as a fellow coach and counselor. I know it takes a lot of energy from you for doing it, but I think, what I really love about what you said is that, when you share your time with others also, right, there's boundless joy when you transform the life of another person, and that's very good. And I think in a world now where we operate, I think when you move from being, when you were telling your story, I was like, oh my God, we have a lot of similarities. I actually had a career break also of 2.5 years because my husband got relocated in Malaysia. Initially,
Okay.
I was like, wow, this is my dream. I want to be a housewife. But
Yeah.
I used to be an audit manager at the time of Emirates Airlines, and then I
Mhm.
became a housewife, and I was very happy in the beginning. But I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I think I'm born not to work, like do these house chores. And I found myself, I'll say silent depression
I
because
know.
I was silently depressed, but I don't want to speak it out because in my mind, I was like, I always wanted to be this kind of housewife. Then why am I not happy? Then
Mhm.
as the same thing I did. I look for community. I look for the same women who were relocated. So we have this group in Malaysia of spouses of that company, and we have to meet every time. So I became one of the group. And I think, my advice is, you look for people. You said, right, a sense of belonging, a
Yeah.
community of women who will support each other. And I think there will always be people like that. Like Ambreen is doing that in Saudi. There's a lot of things happening virtually where you can find that support. So that's very good. Which actually leads me to the next question. You said you move from, being employed to starting freelancing and entrepreneurship. Now, what is your advice to those women? Like they said in the US, there's something called great resignation. Like a lot of people are resigning from jobs because the pandemic is an opening eye for them to reflect on what's the meaning of life and what they're meant to do. So what is your advice to other women or mothers who are rethinking about their careers? How
Yeah.
did you make the choice to jump finally to freelancing
Yeah.
and entrepreneurship?
It's a very, very good question, because I think a lot of women, and I would say that all the women who become mother are actually, I think, face this choice, because at some point in time they have to either choose their family, the kids, or the career, because like career itself is a 24/7 job, I would say. And like motherhood requires more than 24/7 jobs. So
I agree.
it's such a big dilemma for women. And more importantly, there is the community. The corporate world is so competitive that they do not take women as as a woman. And I would say, and that's the main thing that I wanted to break the bias, that like women should be taken as women, because we have some responsibilities. Like we are biologically, we are supposed to be mothers. We have to uh, make this generations, like to give the to make the offsprings. And this is not in our hand. I mean, this is the role that is given to us biologically. And the corporate and the community should be supportive to carry on this role. And for a mother, I would say, like, if we, like, coming back to your question, that what advice I would give to the mothers is, basically, I think, the are we online, or is there, are we stuck? There's some internet connectivity issues. I think, okay, so I'll just carry on. I think there is some a lag or something. So, anyways, I'll carry on. So, the coming back to the question, that what advice I should give to the women who are stuck with the career, is basically, uh, women should have their priorities set. What is the most I think that we lost the connection, or maybe she has gone. So maybe I think I should wait, and then I'll join. So let's wait for her to join, and then we can continue. So I think there is some connectivity issues.
Ibi, nawala ba ako? Hi, Ambreen. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Sorry,
I
I don't know.
can.
This happens technically on a live
Yeah,
show,
I know.
right?
That's perfectly fine. You cannot control all these technical glitches and everything, and it can happen anytime, anywhere. So that's perfectly fine. So, anyways, like, coming back to the question, that yeah, that advice. I was just saying that as a mother, we should have, like all the women should, whoever wants to pursue their career, they should have clear priorities set in their lives, that what do they want. Okay, for example, do they really want the career, and do they want the family to look after the family? And then they should also look at their capabilities, that do they are they able to serve both. Because one of the very important thing is that, like, maybe like women do aspire to take up both roles, but when they take up these roles, they get exhausted, and
True.
that's when the point of burnout comes in, and they
Mm,
feel that they are no good, and they go into depression, they go into, like, they start failing at both ends. So
true.
one of the very important thing is, like, first of all, you need to realize that what do you want in life. For
Mm,
example, if you want a career, okay, then sit down, and before jumping and applying to all the jobs and something, have a look at yourself, that what capabilities you have to actually take up the role. Because if you have young kids, like for example, even I took a break when my kids were
mm,
young, because I thought that I cannot take up both roles together, because my kids, who were like maybe at that time only like 1 year old, and I do get I used to get a lot of job offers at that time as well. But then I prefer to take up the role of entrepreneurship, because I feel that
mm,
through entrepreneurship I could actually have more flexible hours. I could take a project on the basis of my priorities, my times. So that's how one should actually, I feel that one should decide that how to pursue with the career. Do they really want to take up the role of employment, or do they want to go to the entrepreneurship? Or even if they want to do it, how they can manage. Because the thing is, no matter what, like, kids and family is the number one priority. The reason why I'm saying is that I often say it in my post as well, because when you look at the happiness, or because everybody wants the
mm.
happiness and to feel the
True.
peace from inside. There's also, like, this scientific proof also, that happiness go hand in hand with happy relationship, happy and healthy relationship. And if you have healthy relationships with your family, with your kids, then you would feel the happiness from inside, you feel more energetic. But if you're not happy with the relationship, then it will drain your energies, and it will become more sort of like, it would be like the chains in your chains around you. It would not let you move forward in the lives. So I in my what my philosophy is, that first you need to work out on yourself, your relationship, and then you take up another role to move or to serve community or to serve others. So serve other could be done through like through career, through employment, through entrepreneurship. So these three aspects one should be very clear, that what do they want in life from themselves, with their family, and from the others.
Ambreen, while you're telling that story, I really like what you said, clarity, capability, right? And when I
Yeah.
experienced burnout, and I was like, why am I experiencing burnout when I always dreamed this life of having the audit manager job, but I also learned when I step back, like, no additional zero in my salary can compensate for the guilt that I was, having that time of missing my children's milestone because I have to travel. I have
Yeah.
to leave one kid behind because I'm traveling and the other one has school. So I think I love that advice that you have, that, just step back and review what do you really want in life.
Yeah.
Because if you are missing the value of, if you're missing time with family because of your career, then you have to look at the priorities that you have. If you value family more, then maybe it's time to check, what really is the career best fit for you. Because for me, I really downshifted my career. I chose
Yeah.
not to go through an audit manager position again because I want to spend more time with my children. I want to see them grow. And I think having a 2.5 year career break is one of the best decisions I made for my life, because I know my career will always be there. I can always grow and move to another career, but my daughter's milestone, their life will never return to the same age, right? So that's
Yeah.
really something. You said capability. I think every person have a unique gift to share. And when you become clear about that, like this backstage crew that we have now, like Rufa is very good in hosting, Sherry is very good in design, Rina and the rest of the team are very good in moderation. That's why I actually invited them to say, can you help me out? Because I'm drowning in my live stream doing everything alone. So I think everybody have a unique gift. And as a mother, if we just step back and ask, who am I other than becoming a mother? And what can I do other things that can, help me develop a career, be it on freelancing or entrepreneurship, as you said, which is a very, very good one. Now, can I ask you another question? We become very serious. Can you also tell us a funny story? As you're juggling motherhood, career, entrepreneurship, freelancing, can you tell us a funny story of, how do you manage? Are there days that, you just drop some of the some of the
Yeah.
things in your life? Maybe you can share us a funny story somehow.
Yeah, sure, sure. I mean, it's very interesting actually. It's when actually I'm working from home, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the major challenge, because when you are at home, kids don't take it seriously. Even your husband won't take it seriously, because they think that you're available for them all the time. It's like, if I'm
True.
working on the computer, that doesn't mean that I'm working seriously on the computer. It seems that to them that maybe I'm just having fun with my computer and this. So this is very difficult thing to actually deal with. And one of the most important thing that I've learned, especially like juggling with these roles, is to learn to manage distraction. Because, like,
Hmm.
for example, if I'm working on a report very seriously and a lot of ideas coming, and my kids is begin to feel hungry. So this is something like, you're working on the report, having this flow of idea, and then like all of a sudden, like, your kids feeling hungry or need to have some fun with you, then then sometimes that it breaks like the momentum, and you have to start all over again. So this is very difficult thing. So coming back to the funny story, I was basically like, like the when I have the meetings like this, like, or the live shows or the podcast, and I have to manage everything beforehand. I make sure that my kids are fully fed. They have everything ready on their, like, with themselves. Like, for example, if they need to eat anything, I tell them that this is here, it's in the kitchen, you have to go and get it from there. So like all the instruction prior to that, it's like a sort of a mission for me to do everything, all the tick marks that, okay, I feed like give the like food to my kids, I give them like clothes, that okay, if they want to go, that they can take their the clothes from that closet, and like everything, all the instruction needs to be done beforehand, like before going into the meeting or before going live like this. So the funny thing, I remember that last year I ran a challenge on suicide prevention, and it was a very
Oh.
serious topic. And so I remember I was having a live session with the experts, and we were discussing about this serious topic. All of a sudden, like, my kid just came to the room, and he was just asking me that he wanted to have some more time to play on the computer. And like he was constantly asking, like, Mama, can I play more? And I said, like, I was discussing such important topic, and he was like coming, he was I think I'm not sure that he was so close to me. I'm sure that he was in my camera as well. So it was like it was so difficult to actually manage, like, myself, talking to him as well, like engaging all my expert and like the chat, and especially on that very serious topic. So it was a funny thing that I still remember. It was so difficult to manage. I was like, I was almost laughing, but I had to control, because I cannot laugh at during the show on such serious topic. So yeah,
That's
it was
that's
fun.
that happened to me also. I think you are very right as a mother, right? When we're working at home, kids don't understand that
Yeah,
work is really work, right? I
yeah.
remember one of the time also I was also live, or I was facilitating a training or something. My daughter came and she hugged me, and she wasn't aware that she's in the camera, but I
Oh,
just handle her calmly. And then I
oh,
think after that I received an email, and then actually one of the attendees said, I actually am very happy how you manage your children, because she said when that happened to her, she will immediately freak out. And I was just like calmly saying, baby, can you just give mommy space? So so I think that's true. Your children don't understand. But I also, what I learned, when you set boundaries, right? That when I tell
yeah,
my children, when I'm on the white chair and
yeah.
I'm live, then there's sometimes they will be on the side, they will have this paper, mommy, can I use
Yes,
this? How can
I
you read that, right?
know.
So
Very true.
oh my
Yes,
god, it's crazy. They're very creative in terms of how to distract you when you're going
yeah,
live, that will be in front of you having like a flag, what to do. But I
yeah,
think as a mother, we are very good, I'll say, in juggling things, and
yes.
setting boundaries and explaining things is very important. Now I want to ask you more question. I remember you already asked about, you want to break the bias that women, they look at mothers differently because of the many roles and responsibilities that we have. Other than women and mothers being looked at differently, what are the other bias that you want to break, and you want to shed more light on?
Yeah, I mean, it's again a very, very good question. Actually, there are actually a lot of biases attached to women, and I must say, I mean, and that's the reason why these you can see all these campaigns about this like women empowerment, and because the role of men is like very clearly defined, but the thing is that throughout the history, you said like from the beginning that women are seen as a sort of a human or a person who are supposed to look after only houses, like they are supposed to
Mm.
work in the home and to look after their kids, and that stigma is still there, although it's changing, but yes, that's very much there. So one bias is this, that they are not taken seriously, they're not taken as capable as men are, because they think usually it is a perception that women are supposed to work in the home and they are good at working or managing household only. So although this is changing a lot, yet that is the reason why women are underpaid throughout the world, not only
True.
in developing countries. Like you can see the all developed, highly, those developed countries, even their women are struggling to have equal pay. So that bias, although it's changing, but still women are not there. Second most important thing is like you can see that I take hijab, and that is again one thing is like women are seen differently. The thing is like the way you dress up, the way you look, the way you talk. I think women are judged more than men. Women like if
Mm.
a man come into a room, he is wearing like a simple, like they have the defined sort of, I would say, a clothing or something like outfit. But for women it's completely different. Like I have faced a lot of I mean discrimination because I take hijab, because they're like people take it very differently. They attach the stigma that okay, maybe like if someone is covering more, that means they are more conservative. So or someone who are dressed like this, they attach different um, uh, discrimination and biases based on the looks, and that happens more with women again, not
True.
more with men, because like I
Mm.
think the outfit or the entire outlook is defined very clearly, and it is similar across the world. Like wherever you go, you would see the man in the like shirt and the trouser, and that's it. But for women it's is again very different. Like like in some countries women are not allowed to cover head, some countries like women are
True.
allowed to wear like longer the knees dressing, or maybe night shorter than knees. So like, there are complete different set of rules for women. So this is and that's the bias again. I mean, when I was deciding to cover my head to my, because it was, I was not used to it, like from the entire life
Mm.
I never took hijab. But then I realized that, okay, I need to take this because I want to say to the world that, it's my right, like whatever, it's my right as to like show my skin as so I have my right to cover my skin as well. So that's we need to, we no, nobody should judge women on the basis of the looks, or on
Mm.
the basis of the dressing, or the
Mm.
way they speak, because I think it is more again linked with women rather than men. Like these are the two major areas that I feel that we need to work upon. Yeah.
I fully agree with you. You know what they said? Globally, women are underpaid 20% less than men,
Yes,
which is very sad, right? And I agree with you also in terms of, the way you dress, right? People will
yeah,
always look at you. So even I am very cautious about, okay, how do I dress? How do I want to be perceived, right? Before I go to any occasion, I always ask myself, how do I want to be perceived here?
yeah,
Because people right away will judge you based on how you look. So I think those are the
yeah.
things. And I think I want to thank you for that reminder that nobody should define you or put you in a box just because of what you're wearing, or it's not who you are, right? I think
Yeah.
every person is much more beyond what their clothes are.
Yes,
So
absolutely. And one thing that I've seen is it's pretty funny actually that even the other day when I was discussing this with my other, on my show on the women empowerment, my other experts were also agreeing to this actually, that if a woman looks sort of a pretty or very pretty, the other people don't take it serious, to take her seriously. Or if the woman is not very pretty, even then they don't take it very seriously. So
it's
this
very
is
sad,
sort of
yeah.
again a dilemma that like if you are dress up, or if, because for example, I like to dress up, it's not something that I don't like to dress up. But if you like to dress up and go and show to the go to the office like very like, nicely dressed up, people take you, like start taking you very differently. But if you don't, on the other hand, if you don't do it, even then people will take you not very seriously. So it's a complete dilemma that women are going through at the moment. Yeah.
I know that. Now, Ambreen, we're almost to the end. I know you have a lot of things to do also. Now, which brings me to the last but not the least, the most important question, I think. I believe that there's no need in the world where we now live in. There's no need for women to choose between family or career, and you can have both. So, what
True.
are your tips for women to succeed personally and professionally?
What career choice you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, what tips can you give so
Oh,
that women can succeed both in their personal life and also in their professional life?
yeah. I mean, as I told you even in the beginning also, that we need to have a very clear goal for our lives, that what do we
Mm.
want to be. Like it comes down to the purpose. We need to find out, it's equally true for men as well, that we need to find out what is the purpose of our life. And when
Mm.
we are, when we find out that, okay, this is my purpose, then you are driven to the direction, that what do you want from your life. For example, let me tell you, like my purpose of life, like as I told you, like I want to share the knowledge, I want to gain knowledge, and I want to share knowledge. And that is the reason why I like writing, I like counseling, I like I'm also writing a book. I mean, it's going to be published soon, within 2 months. So like all my activities are aligned, and in my life everything is aligned based on my purpose. I know what is the purpose of my life. What I do in my personal life is also aligned through this purpose, and whatever activities I do in the professional life is also aligned with that purpose. So once you have the clarity about yourself, what do you want from from your life, what do you want to do, or what do you serve to the community, then it will give you a complete clarity that what do you want and where do you want to go. And then again, I would just say that when you have that clarity, think through it. It shouldn't be in your head, it should be on the paper, or it should be executed well, because you
Mm.
may have a lot of dream, like everybody wants to either create an impact, or everybody has certain dream. But the only thing is that they just have dream, and then those remain dream, because they are unable to work upon that. So whatever you have in mind, have a complete time with yourself, sit with your own self, find out how you can work out on that. Because as you said that when you took a break off from that job, or you were enjoying, like you had successful career, you wanted a housewife, the role of housewife, yet that feeling was there, that you felt a bit sort of empty because you wanted to do something more. And that is what
Mm.
the dilemma is with a lot of women, that they have a successful career, they have a successful or a nice loving family, yet they feel a little bit of alienated, yet they feel a little bit of empty from inside, because they are capable of doing more, and they
Mm.
want to do more. But the thing is that then they cannot figure out how to do it. So whatever your dream you have, you just think through it, make a strategy, make a plan. And no matter what, there is no rush. There's, like, for example, I decided to write a book 20 years ago. So
Wow.
that's how I plan. Like, it's okay. I thought that, okay, I'll give a time to this and then I'll plan. So there's no rush. Life is not a race. It's a
Mm.
journey. So, okay, you have a dream, make a proper strategy, plan it out, and then slowly and gradually take small step matters. It doesn't matter that you just have a big goal and just start taking big step, because then you're gonna fail and it's gonna give you more stress rather than a feeling of joy or satisfaction.
There's a lot of nuggets of wisdom I was scribbling on my paper. But I think I want to recap that. First, you mentioned about clarity. I think that's very important, right? Clarity about your life purpose. And I want to
Yeah,
quote Mark Twain, who said, there are two most important things in
yeah,
your life, the day you were born and the day you found out why. And I think for me, after suffering from burnout, it has been my mission to help others become happier, because I learned, money, career alone is not the reason for the happiness. When you help others, and, as you said, when you now are clear with your purpose, it's now easy to align your life, your
yeah,
career, your family. It's very easy now to find the puzzle of how you fit in these activities. Like even this link in live, it might be very late, but it gives me so much joy because I know we're giving something, right, to help another person. So I hope you find that clarity about your purpose in life, because really it will make you sleep in joy and wake up in peace, right? Like,
yeah,
and also I think you mentioned you have to put a deadline. They said a
yeah,
dream without a dream without a deadline remains a
yeah,
dream, but when you put a timeline to it, it becomes a goal. And
yeah,
it's about taking baby steps, right? Even my podcast, I know I look at my dream list, which I wrote in 2017. I said I want a podcast, and it was, it happened after 5 years. For you,
yeah,
you want a book, you wrote it in 20 years. I love what you also said. This life is not a race. Why
yeah.
hurry, right? Do something every day that can bring you to whatever you want to be. So, Ambreen, thank you. I learned so much today from you. It's really an honor to interview you. Can you please invite everybody to connect with you on LinkedIn, or any projects, collaboration that they want to do with you? What are the best ways to connect with you?
Yeah, I think first of all, thank you so much for having me on your show, and it was a pleasure to talk to you, to give you this interview, because on many aspects I could resonate with you. The way, and there are lots of similarities with, I think, the way you took a break and the way I took a break, and then there was some realization in those breaks and how we made those struggle, and how we pass through those struggle, and then realize that okay, this is the time to pass on the knowledge and to help others to to overcome all those phases of struggle. So I think there's a lot of similarities, and I thoroughly enjoyed the show. As long as far as the like people can collaborate with me, they can reach out to me through LinkedIn, through Insta, through Twitter. So from any other like all social media, they can reach out to me. My website is also sort of in the making, so hopefully within a day or so it will be up and running, so they can also subscribe to my website also. And like yeah, I've been working on a lot of projects. So yeah, there are like I have like psychology talks, and I have like on I have this platform of LinkedIn into Win It, and then I'm also working on this Save Lives project. So there are lots of projects going on, so they can actually go to my LinkedIn profile, and they can reach out to me. They can see like whatever the projects I am collaborating at the moment. So anytime, like you're free to contact me, and I would love to help you out.
Thank you, Ambreen, for that. So for those of you, there are many ways Ambreen can inspire you. You follow her on LinkedIn. I assure you, when you wake up in the morning, you look at her post, you feel inspired already. You can feel the positive energy on every post that she has. And I
Thank
think, you just connect with her on LinkedIn. Psychology Talks is there. You have a podcast also. The website's coming. And I look forward to reading your book. If there's any way I can support you, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much again. For those who are watching us on live or on replay, I would like to thank you very much. My name is Vandalintan Kalupig. And of course, thank you, Ambreen, one of the top 50 most influential Filipina on LinkedIn. Ramadan Kareem to you, Ambreen, and to
you. Thank
everybody
you.
who's celebrating this occasion. God bless you, everybody. And of course, Ambreen, I would just like, before I forget, we have, of course, a backstage crew who's helping us here. I have Sherry, Cecil, Rina, Roof, and team. If you do need some live streaming support in moderation,
Okay.
please contact this team who are, of course,
Sure.
the best people who can help you. Thank you again,
Thank
Ambrin,
you
for your
so much.
time. Thank you for
Thank you.
everybody watching us. Thank you,
Thank you.
Ambrin.
Okay, bye
Thank you.
bye. Thank you.
Bye. God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.